This short clip pretty much sums up my entire Crackdown 3 experience. You ready? Look, I know all games crash, but it just summed up my entire experience with the very little time I've had playing this game. It's boring, it's pointless, there's no real meaning to anything. I know there's not meant to be, but there should be a little bit of meaning somewhere. And honestly, I still can't believe I paid the £2 for it on Game Pass. So let's just get straight into it. So as you can see, we're greeted with solo campaign, co-op campaign, and then the Wrecking Zone, which is the Crackdown 3 sort of team deathmatch mode, which is like an entirely different thingy. And then we have all the different agents. Now, the whole point of it is to pick Terry Crews, right? Because that's who all the advertising's been with, and if you don't, then what's the point? We don't see why anyone else would pick any other agent. It just doesn't seem a reason for them to be there. So upon actually some really long loading screens, surprisingly I'm playing on my Xbox One X, and this game is only, what, like 13 gig. It's a short story, it looks meh, the city is very sparsely populated, so I don't understand why it takes forever to load. What is there to load? Like, is it trying to load my immense disappointment, or... So upon loading, you're given like a map, and you can load into like supply type areas. So it's basically just, you know, respawn points. There's no actual like base of operations you could go to, which once again is just really disappointing. And there's another long loading screen after it shows you the map and then where you want to spawn. So if it's only now loading the world, what was it doing before? Obviously, as you can see, it didn't load much. Very bland looking textures. It's quite colourful with like the neon kind of, you know, graphics, but it is native 4K. Well, I think it's close to native 4K. That's what Digital Foundry said. But gunplay is basic. You know, there's nothing to really go, you know, yeah, get in about it. You run about. It feels like a late Xbox 360 game. Honestly, if you told me this was an Xbox 360 game, I would believe you. You know, we got games from 2012 looking better than this. The way the vehicles just feel is horrible. It reminds me of like a really early Grand Theft Auto game. I don't know how you can mess up a game. I don't know how you take 5 years and come up with this. Like, I'm sure I could have spent 5 years making something in Unreal Engine, and it could be about 1,000,000 times better than this. It just looks and plays horribly. But can it be fun? Sure. I mean, you know, do you want to jump up in parkour to get the orbs has always been fun. I've always loved collecting the orbs from the other games. And if you have a friend to mess about with, then sure, this game is a great time killer. I'm sure it won't remain very pricey for long. You can get it on Game Pass for literally like £2. I think they have like a special discount at the moment. That's what I did. Because no way was I going to spend £49 or however much this game is, you know, to buy it. So getting the orbs, as you can see, yeah, okay, very fun, but there's something seriously wrong with a game if the funnest thing about it is jumping up and getting orbs. If that is the funnest thing a game has to offer, then there's a problem with the game. So I've mentioned the gunplay and just the gameplay just being ripped straight out of a crappy Xbox 360 arcade game, but at least you have Terry Crews. I mean, sometimes he says a funny thing. He's a good, like, performance. But that's all I can really say about the main character. You don't really care because the story is just you have to hunt down and kill people, and that's about it. There's like these mini bosses, there's like 12 of them, and eventually you get to the main one, and eventually you kill the main boss, and it's only about 6 hours to 10, if that. Am I going to complete it? No, I'm not going to complete it, unless one day I'm so bored that this is the only thing to do, but no, I'm probably not going to complete it because it doesn't entertain me. I would rather go and play Spider-Man. I'd rather go and play God of War. I'd rather go play Anthem, which I will actually have a review for. So I don't see the point of this game. It's just a filler. I mean, they probably should have cancelled it. But what with cancelling Scalebound, you know, and Fable Legends, and then yeah, it just it didn't look good to cancel a game that, you know, it was the power of the cloud, blah blah blah, and then cancel the game. So they probably released this because they felt like they had to, when they probably just shouldn't have. Now, I really do love Xbox and everything they've promised, whether they delivered on it or not, but I've always been an Xbox guy, so I'm not biased anyway. You know, this is not me, you know, giving this game a bad score because, you know, I hate Xbox. I love Xbox. It's my primary platform that I play on. So for me to come out and say, come on, this is pretty damn bad. You know, there are indie games on PlayStation which I'd get more fun out of than this meant to be AAA exclusive, but it's not. It's just like State of Decay. boring, buggy, nobody cared. Sea of Thieves, boring, buggy, nobody cared. And it's just part of a worrying trend. The only, decent exclusive that Xbox have at the moment is the Forza Horizon series, and they can't just keep coming out with racers because eventually that's going to get boring too. It's a racing game. So this game, I think it did score a 60 on Metacritic, which is completely deserved. I estimated it'd be around there. I'm actually surprised that it wasn't about 65. I think it did start off about that, and it did slowly drop to about 60. But it is completely deserving of the 60. It's boring, it's bland. Yeah, it works on some aspects, and it's fun to shoot people, but apart from that. Now, I'm going to give this game a 4 out of 10. Especially because it let me down on the whole destructible environment thingy. I'm not even going to review nor mention the wrecking zone. It has 2 modes in it, 2 maps. They look bland as anything. The destruction, if I can speak properly, is just pathetic. You just shoot a wall and it kind of falls off, and then the building kind of falls. But you're so bouncy that a building falling doesn't really mean anything anyway. The whole execution and promises just weren't delivered upon, and I feel like this game was released just more of a, well, we said we were going to release it, and here it is. At least we didn't cancel it. And honestly, it's just meh. This whole generation has been meh for Xbox, so you better hope that next generation is a lot better. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I am new to sort of reviewing games and films, but I do always have like a strong opinion on things. Therefore, if you have any recommendations, or if you have any suggestions, or just things you want me to talk about, review, let me know in the comments below. I'll link my Twitter also, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Peace out.